Excuse me, Mr. Reyes? You finished scraping the gum off that lounger or what?
The Blue Beetle trailer came out, and I've been racking my brain on what kind of Blue Beetle video should I do. I mean, I do DC videos on this channel, so sure, I have to work on a Blue Beetle video. At some point, I'll do a more focused origins video, later on closer to when the movie releases. But for this video, I was thinking, and burning a hole in my head, and it came down to, why does it matter? More importantly, why does Blue Beetle matter? I'm not crazy old, at least I don't think so. But I've been reading comics, at least with my last run, where I was reading on a regular, since around 2002. So for me, my Blue Beetle was Ted Kord. He would appear in guest spots and limited series here and there, and in the looming Infinite Crisis, he was killed, and we were introduced to a new Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. Aside from the fact that Reyes is a teenager, the bigger difference is that he has powers versus Kord, who was powerless. I mean, he was a smart dude, like Iron Man level smart, good athlete, good at hand-to-hand stuff, used gadgets. He was a goofy version of Batman who wasn't trying to intimidate people, so people didn't really take him too seriously. They still don't. The core of his name revolved around an artifact called the Blue Scarab, who was used by his predecessor Dan Garrett, who was able to derive some powers from it. Ted, no matter how hard he tried, could not access its power. When Ted died, Jaime Reyes came in possession of the Scarab and it attached him, creating that blue suit you see in the movie, allowing him to do some crazy things like fly out to space and re-enter Earth without a problem. Listen, that's not as easy as it sounds. Generally, you need a substantial piece of armor or resilience to re-enter the atmosphere. In fact, most asteroids that enter the Earth's atmosphere burn up before even hitting the Earth. So when I say Blue Beetle's armor is no joke, it's no joke. He can also do some other cool stuff like create weapons, including swords, blasters, and plenty else. But so what? Listen, in truth, Jaime Reyes has existed as a character for over 15 years, and in that time, DC has tried to make the Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes happen 3 times in his own solo series, and they have failed to hold the audience interest 3 times. I mean, Miles Morales came out after Blue Beetle, and Marvel did a far better job with it than DC could ever do with Jaime. For me, despite how long Jaime has been around, I still feel like he's a character in development, in a sense that I feel down the line, the right writer can do him justice, kind of like Grant Morrison did with Animal Man. That being said, why does Blue Beetle matter? Blue Beetle matters because he represents the underdog hero. Jaime Reyes is a relatable character who struggles to balance his superhero life with his personal life. He's a teenager who's still trying to figure out his place in the world and his newfound powers. Jaime's struggles are what makes him an interesting, compelling character. He's not a perfect hero like Superman or Batman, but he tries his best to do what's right. He's also one of the few Latino superheroes in mainstream comic books, especially during the time in which he was created. Which is important for Latinos like myself because there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to see yourself in these heroes, but it's less about representation and more about seeing yourself as a hero. He's a kid from El Paso, Texas, which is not a giant city by any means. He's not rich, nor does he have a support line like the Robins and Kid Flashes of the world. Yet, despite this, he wants to do what's right and push forward, a trait many bigger name heroes see in him. So, before I get deeper into my rant at this point, like this video and comment below what you think about Blue Beetle. And if you think I'm wrong, cause hey, that's okay too. Oh, and if you're like me, you might be into collectibles like the DC Multiverse line from McFarlane Toys. Check out my good buddy Ramfam Collectibles and his online shop. There's a crazy selection of stuff from Power Rangers, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, and of course DC figures. Shipping is fast and reliable, and customer support is top notch. They care because they're collectors too. And for 5% off your first purchase, use the code RAMFAM5. But for now, let's get back to business. Jaime Reyes matters because he represents the potential for growth and development. He's a character who has yet to reach his full potential, which is often why he succeeds more in supporting roles rather than solo outings, including his membership in the Teen Titans and even the Young Justice on the Young Justice television show. He's often seen as a character primed for development into a better version of himself through proper training and mentorship, of course. He's a character that has a chance to develop into a primary hero, similar to the paths of characters like Dick Grayson, Wally West, and Cyborg, but is still pretty far off. His powers are unstable, the origins of his power keep changing to fit the narrative of DC, from magic to alien technology and back to magic. He's a small town hero, so he's not going to face big threats from villains like Gotham or Metropolis, but that's okay. It's the story of the new kid, and being accepted in a world where you have no connections or ties with. We can all relate to going to a new school or a new job and feeling out of place, trying to grow into a role we've been handed. And yes, his Latino heritage plays a part as well, mostly because it shows that culture and tradition are important to a hero's own personal values. His connection to his family and continued support from his family help him to want to do better. The new trailer, in part, shows all the cool stuff of Blue Beetle: the suit, his powers, the space jump, and even the bus being cut in half, while managing to not cut a single person in half. But it also shows his family, his job, and the side of every one of us when we question our worth and place in this world. Blue Beetle matters because Jaime Reyes matters. Jaime Reyes matters because you and I matter. Because unlike Superman, we aren't born to be heroes. But if we were handed powers, I'd like to believe that we would try to help those around us, including those we care about, no matter our background. That being said, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the continued support. As always, take care and have an awesome day. For more DC stories, why not watch this video right here?
The Great One has arrived to save our people once again!
Dude, looks like you rock even on the other side of the galaxy.
I don't think they're talking about me.